Film is Literature. We're here. I'm Justin,
And I'm James, aka Mr. 2000.
Mr. 2000. All right, dude. So we're getting better at this now. This is the second show we've done in 3 weeks, so we're definitely getting better.
Right. I mean, people have lives.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. But for all you people that are watching Film is Literature, look us up on YouTube on the Podcast Hell channel. You can see some of our past shows. I think, man, we got to be creeping up to about 10 shows together between you and I, correct?
Good. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the last movie we did, The Infiltrator, we didn't really have high review of.
No, no. But we're doing something different. We're doing what Netflix top must sees or
Yeah,
must watch. So that way it's kind of just unbiased, not the particular genre we want to watch or a particular movie. Okay, let's see what Netflix got to say and let's rate it, which is a good thing.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a great idea because we watch movies that we wouldn't maybe normally watch, or definitely movies we haven't seen.
Yep.
And in the case of this one that we're about to do, we're doing a newer movie that just came out. We had never seen, and it was literally the number one movie on Netflix when I texted you and said, "Let's do this." Literally, I just didn't even go. I didn't even go down the line. Like it was just, I'm just gonna go with this one. It's number one. It
Yep.
just came out. It has a cool like what do you call it? Like a picture on the Netflix
Yeah.
page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the movie is called Time Cut. James, go ahead and just describe like basically the plot or the story for all the people, just in case they don't know about it.
So Time Cut is basically the time travel movie, just like Back to the Future. You kind of teenager kind of gets
Hmm.
into a barn, in this case a barn, and they find a time machine. Don't know what it is, and next thing you know, they back in time,
Yeah,
and they kind of rearranging the past, which impacts the future that you're in. However, it was basically three main characters, and you have a bunch of just they're not supporting actors; they just fill-ins. Actually, if you ask
oh
me,
yeah,
they didn't really have a good role. They were just people that's in the picture. But that's all. Is a time travel movie. I think it could have done a little better, but we'll get into that as far as the plot. But it was exactly she was trying to the main character Lucy. I forgot her real name.
yeah.
Lucy's
Lucy, her real name is Madison Bailey. I think
Madison
she's
Bailey.
on.
Yep,
I think she's on Outer Banks, which I've never seen either.
me either.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah, actually knew zero people in this movie. I think this is the first time in a very long time I've watched a movie where I knew zero actors.
It's a good and a bad thing. Um,
It,
it shows you the future talent, and
mhm.
if this is it, God help us. Um, but it does give people chances to broadcast or get better as an actor or actress. So again, the movie is all about time travel and it's what time travel and trying to save something or trying to alter something that happens in the future, which
Yeah, basically, we'll just go ahead and say right now, there's probably going to be a lot of spoilers in this show because it's going to be hard to talk about it without spoiling it for people that didn't watch. But yeah, basically, I guess the girl, Lucy, her sister gets killed, and she kind of debates on if she wants to kind of stop it or not. And it honestly, it on paper, it's a great story.
yeah, on paper when you read the description of like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it might be good. I think just the opening how it opened was weird. And again, we're gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, cut it off now and then get back to us and you're like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Yes.
Um, so at the beginning, it starts off with they had a party and they start
And it's 2000, 2003, by the way.
yes, 2003. They started um, I guess killing. They killed one person. They already the sister Summer, which is
Yeah.
Lucy's sister. They killed her. I understand Lucy wasn't born yet, so it was only the parents and Summer. And Summer was in high school, senior in high school. So Summer had to be 18, 17, 18,
Yep.
2003. Um, and if there's somebody that's killing somebody, they never found the guy. Okay. And they were celebrating or just commemorating two other friends that got murdered as well, male and a female. I think they were
Mhm.
dating. No, they wasn't dating, but
No, I think they were dating. I feel like, or something. I don't know. Or
yeah.
that guy definitely seemed like he wanted to date her later
Mhm.
on when we saw them at the mall.
Yeah. So that happened, and then it's just fast forward to 2024,
Yeah, yeah.
which yeah,
It
which would have been Lucy would have been about 40
yeah,
ish.
probably about 40. Yeah, I mean 39 probably.
Yeah,
38, 39, 40, somewhere in there, depending on, you never know with seniors. They can be anywhere from like 17 to 19, I feel like.
exactly. So yeah, let's just round it off to a even number 40.
Yeah.
And I think the setup there was I didn't catch on that Lucy and Summer were sisters or related at first. I mean, they had a memorial, but I was trying to figure out where was Lucy, which is
Yeah.
the character that went back in time. Where was Lucy? Lucy wasn't born yet. Okay, you know, and that was one of my downfalls. Not saying people can't have kids late, but if Summer was 18, 17, 18, maybe 19, that mean her parents had to be 40.
Mid 40s at least, probably.
I mean, if they were responsible people, and then some people are not saying responsible, I hate to say it like
Yeah.
that, but let's just give 20 years or 18 years to, so they had to be at least between 38 and 40 or
Yeah.
mid 40s. Now, to have a kid, another kid, and the parent, if you look at the parents really didn't age. These parents,
No. But you know what though? You know what though? I kind of like that from a filming standpoint because I like that they just kept the parents the same in the future and that like they didn't recast them. You know what I mean? Like
right.
so
But
they didn't look like they really aged much, but I'm gonna give them a pass. That did not bother me. Did not
it,
bother
it bothered me because you're talking about the parents was already 40, so they had to be 60 in 2024.
me. Yeah.
It looked like they were 40.
Yeah.
So they didn't really age. Okay. But yeah, so that's the first thing that kind of threw me with this movie. It was kind of all over the place, and then it kind of, yeah, I don't know. I can't
No.
even to be honest with you, I couldn't follow it so much that I couldn't get to how did Lucy get into the barn and all this other stuff.
It so you talk about the movie starting off kind of weird. It definitely basically the very first scene, Summer gets killed, and yeah, it was very it kind of just jumps you right into the story, but yet they didn't really explain kind of what was going on. It was a very weird beginning. I do want to mention some things though before we kind of get into our categories. First of all, I love time travel movies, so
Yes.
instantly I thought that I would love this movie. Definitely was wrong. Do not love it. But did this movie make you want to eat a Butterfinger?
Butterfinger.
Do you get it? Because at the one point he had a whole can of Butterfingers.
Oh, I didn't. No, I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, I remember
I was
something.
like,
Love, love, love,
that's
yeah.
great product placement there, and Butterfinger probably paid for the whole movie.
Right, and I couldn't even find any statistics on the movie as far as budget is
Oh yeah,
concerned.
yeah. I
So
found there was nothing, which is
right,
very weird. Normally I'll find like a little something, but yeah, I found nothing when it came to how much anything cost. It definitely seemed like it was pretty low budget though,
very very low budget.
which
Um,
a lot of Netflix movies I feel like are very low budget. It kind of reminds me of like, you might know a little better than I do just because you're a little older, but remember like in the 70s where there were just a bunch of movies coming out and so many of them were low budget. I feel like that's kind of what Netflix is doing right now, where it's just like they're throwing out so many movies that, some of them just have to be low budget just so they
right,
can get,
content. Yeah, they just
yeah,
want content with the, so
yeah.
you can kind of keep streaming, keep paying. This is probably one of those iPhone movies, probably. Um,
Yeah.
And I hate to
Yeah,
say it like that, but
they
iPhone
probably
movies,
have the camera that we use for our pool tournaments probably costs the same as the camera that they used to film this movie.
yes, yes.
Uh,
Um, I did not, I did not care for this movie much, there, Justin.
yeah,
And I am a time travel type of. I'm a sci-fi guy. I
same,
like
same.
sci-fi. Um, I think the plot could have been a little more complex or a little more. It was
Well,
just simple.
well, the problem is, I feel like they just kind of they didn't necessarily give away what was going on, really, but there was just no. It was supposed to be like a suspenseful movie, a scary movie, whatever. But at 0 points was I feeling suspenseful or feeling scared.
Right.
Like they didn't do a good job of like building it up. It was just like I don't know. I really just don't know how to describe it. They just because, like I said, on paper, I think this is actually a great story, and this actually, honestly, could be a great movie. But I feel like maybe they just didn't want to go to
Hmm.
the next level on scariness. Like maybe they were aiming for like a, they probably wanted this to be like a early teenage movie, like a 12 or 13-year-old
Maybe,
movie.
maybe,
Yeah, but I feel
maybe
like
they
if
ran out
you,
of money.
yeah, well, yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, they ran out of money.
Um, One other thing I noticed though during the movie, they eat at Olive Garden. So Olive Garden also helps pay for this movie, along with Butterfinger. And Dolores is their waitress in 2003 and in 2024. Can you
Mm,
imagine being a waitress at Olive Garden for 21 years?
right, and Dolores was the parents' age, maybe
Oh
older.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, that was weird as well. That was weird as well. Yeah.
Well, I just
So
can't imagine. I don't think I've ever met anybody that was a waitress somewhere for 21 years. Like, I mean, how
the
much money
same
can you
place,
really?
not the
Yeah,
same place. No,
how much money can you really make at Olive Garden?
obviously is a lot, a lot. But I think one of my another thing is okay that she found the time machine, and I think I was on a she found the time machine. She got zapped back into the past. Um, you know the days that she was in the past, which was like at least a week.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was 4 days.
where did she stay?
Well, one night she slept on that dude's boat.
Right, she stayed.
Uh,
Yeah, she was always groomed pretty well for
yeah, and
her to
nobody ever asked where her parents were.
or where do you live?
Yeah,
She's walking around in a school.
yeah,
Um, it's
yeah. Not a student.
right, not a student.
No,
Everybody, I mean, I didn't know everybody in my high school, but I
yeah.
recognize a face.
I would know if there was somebody that I had never seen before.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
she's walking around and that was just weird. That was just
agreed,
weird. Um,
agreed. I do got one question. Why do you think the writer chose 2003? Like out of all the years, like why 2003?
I have no clue what happened in 2003.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Like I mean, it's not like that was like a big year. It's not like also they really didn't do a very good job of making me feel like I was in 2003 either. They had a couple
Right.
of songs playing, and I will say the high school kids were dressed because I was in high school in 2003. They were dressed pretty appropriately, but overall, it wasn't very 2003 vibes.
Well, if you notice, they kind of played it like they didn't have any phones. They did have
Yeah,
phones. They had
I
cell
mean, I had a
phones.
phone. Yeah, I had a phone.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a. I mean, I ain't have had a cell phone in high school, but I had a cell phone in college, and I finished college by 2003, but but by 2000 I had a cell phone.
Yeah.
So that when she started talking about this is my cell phone or something she said, they could have. Oh, you got a cell phone? They just act like they didn't have no cell phone. I think they wanted to
Yeah,
go back a little further.
it was very weird because they also seemed like they were at a kind of a maybe a richer high school. So it seems like they definitely would have had a cell phone because, like I said, even I
Yes.
had a phone. It was an early flip phone. It wasn't
Right.
anything. I mean, nothing compared to these iPhone 20s or whatever that we have now.
Right. Actually had a Nextel. The Nextel, the
Those were
church.
super
We used
popular.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Nobody had that. No, yeah, nobody had a phone in this movie but her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's yeah.
Very
So I
weird.
think that was a goof because they had to have some type of network back then because it
Yeah.
was cell phone service. Nobody had a pager or nothing. So I think they should have said 93 more
Yeah, they
so
would
than
at least
2003.
had a pager. You're right, or something.
Yeah. So, but yeah, in 2003, everybody was still on phones, flip phones or whatever. They were on phones.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I
was.
was like, and I was one of the last people out of my friends that had a phone. So literally, they all had because I got mine. It had to be 2003 or 2004 when I got mine, but I was like the last one out of all my friends. So
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that was weird. So I think that was a misstep as far as the
yeah,
storyline. Like, yeah,
for
and
sure. So in scary movies or suspense movies, mostly scary movies, they always say like there's like when there's a group of people, like there's kind of like rules, like
yeah,
two of them. I think two of them kind of work in this movie. Okay, first of all, the Virgin lives.
the
They always
Virgin
say the
live.
Virgin lives. Yeah, the Virgin always lives
The
in a
boy,
scary movie. What? Yeah, the boy.
the
Yeah,
boy, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Had to be a
Quinn.
virgin, and then the other one is the black guy kind of always dies first.
Was it no? But the black guy did die first. It was the was the guy black?
I don't know. Was it
The
he?
boyfriend?
I mean, he was mixed or something, right? I mean,
I think he was Spanish or Latino or something like that. You
okay.
talking about
Well,
the guy?
either way, the non-white guy dies first.
Yeah. Well, yes. That is one of the things in the joint. That's funny.
It caught me by surprise because I was kind of like, they were building it up to be like, I don't know. It kind of caught me by surprise that he was the one that died kind of first because it seemed like he had a cool character too, honestly.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. So he did that first,
Yeah. I mean, well, technically we see the sister die first, but then, he had already died.
right? He had already died, and he died, and then the security guard, and then they saved the girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, but still, as you progress through this movie, you know, the only person that died was the Latino guy or whatever he
Yeah.
was, minority, and so the minority guy, and I just didn't understand. Like I just didn't understand her trying to save these folks. I thought it was going to be a twist on you can't outbeat fate. That was a fate type thing. I was
Yeah. I
like,
thought
oh,
that they would all die.
right, still die,
Yeah.
and because you can't beat because whoever this person killing them was the same person,
Yeah.
um, and you can't outbeat him. If you notice, it seemed like he had them Jason powers. Like he just pops up. He's walking. He never
Oh, yeah.
runs. He walks, and the next thing you know, he's right behind you, or he's right
Yeah.
in front of you.
Which I have a lot of thoughts about that later in one of our categories. So
Mhm.
let's not spoil it. And how about we just go ahead and jump into these categories, huh?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. You want to start off with our favorite character?
I don't have one.
You don't have a favorite character?
Maybe
Yeah.
Lucy. I don't know.
Man, I just have one this time, and it's Quinn. I like the little smart
Nerdy
kid,
boy.
the virgin
Yeah.
kid that helps him out. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I guess maybe when I was in high school, I feel like I was kind of like him.
Oh, you can identify. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I
But
didn't really have a favorite because I think it seemed like all these were high school actors. I mean high school. I mean like performing arts high school.
oh yeah.
like I'm in the auditorium acting something. So this wasn't one of my favorite acting groups.
Yeah, which is one reason why I wanted to start with this category. How many? I did like the three because, like you said, there's really only three characters. Are
Right.
any of them going to have a big future in acting? Because I feel like none of those three were really good actors.
Well, if you look at no, they were not. They wasn't great at. They wasn't good actors. They was okay. But
Yeah.
if you look at all big stars, and it's a progression. Um, is a progression. So this may be their first. Hopefully they get better. But it's not a they're not there yet. For them, they needed somebody in this movie to carry them,
Yes.
and they didn't have it. So these are supporting cast. So they
Hmm.
need like a big boy in this movie or somebody that's like seasoned. They don't have to
Yeah,
be a lister, but they got to be somebody that's seasoned that can kind of do the they can kind of carry these folks and teach them a
yeah,
little bit.
I definitely agree with that. I think that's what this movie was really missing was one or two people that are, you know, big time or not big time, but one or two people that are just we already know are really good and that can kind of carry the movie. That would have helped out so much. Because I'm gonna
Right.
be honest with you, if this movie had better acting, I'm probably involved a little bit more.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I
You're
mean,
right.
that's we talked about that on our last show with the Infiltrator. We really weren't into that movie, but great acting kept us
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah. True. But they had somebody. They had a couple that kind
Yeah.
of anchored it. But
Oh
this
yeah. I
right here
mean,
is
John Leguizamo and Bryan Cranston are way better than Madison Bailey and Michael Shanks.
yeah. And
No
I don't
offense
have
to
a.
them.
And the funny thing is, I don't have a bad. I didn't. I was just neutral because I
Yeah.
know this seemed like just a movie they just put out there to kind of get them some exposure.
Oh, for sure.
Um, so other than that, I didn't really have a favorite actor. I didn't have a least favorite actor. It was
Oh
just
man. Okay. Least favorite. I do got some least favorites. I got three. I got three least favorites. Uh, Here we go. Ethan. I didn't really like Ethan, the guy that gives the toast at the party.
we got to get a toast at the party. And that's how
Yeah.
bad I didn't really pay attention.
Like at the very
The
beginning.
bully, the
Yeah.
bully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I
the
didn't like
bully.
I didn't like him. Like, I don't know. He just kind of maybe I didn't like him just because he was underutilized. Like I feel like he should have been a this movie, let me tell you something right here, James. Let me tell you something. This movie was 92 minutes long. And I feel like in a weird way, it should have been longer, but in a weird way, it should have been shorter because there was so much more they could have done to make this a better movie. But yet at the same time, they could have taken out so much that they didn't need.
Yeah, true. It wasn't a good use of film.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't a good use of film. But
And
he
yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, one of those things was Ethan. Like I feel like, they even mentioned how he might have been the killer at one point. She was like, "Oh
Right.
yeah, my mom thought he was the killer." We never even like he never is even in a scene.
Never is even insane. Never. Um
Yeah.
he's a yeah, he's it's weird because they if and he was to be the prime suspect and you would go to him first and they
Yeah.
kind of just
Yeah,
glossed
dude,
over it.
where was the cop scene interrogating somebody after the first murder? Like where was the like never felt like there was a murder spree going on. Like they
Investigating, right.
never
No
where's the cops?
investigation. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
no investigation, no nothing. You're right. Yeah, you're
so
absolutely right.
lazy. Two other characters I don't really like. I don't like the mom. I don't like the girl's mom.
Oh, why? I
Well,
mean,
it's like why have a second kid if you're just gonna treat her like crap?
well, they treated like crap. They was overprotective, so they wanted to kind of keep her locked in,
Yeah, but man, it's like why?
scared
Just
to
why?
lose, scared to lose her, because they still wanted a child, but they scared to lose her. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of them. And then the third one I don't like is another character that should have had a bigger role, but doesn't really. And even from the start, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like, Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Who's the
was the
teacher, the
professor?
science
Yeah,
teacher or whatever? Like, why do we get introduced to him at the very start? And
what's the
then,
point? Oh,
yeah,
because of the turtle. Only reason. Only reason. And they only introduced one teacher. I didn't
yeah,
really see it. What other teacher did they introduce?
none.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
another reason why I was like, okay, we're not seeing any other teachers. He has to play a big like
You have to
he's
play some
honestly.
role.
I really thought he was going to be the killer. Honestly,
Yes.
thought he was going to be the killer.
Yes, but he couldn't be the killer because he had no skin in the game. Like his role was so small
Yeah,
that if he was a
but
killer, they would just
that would have been a good twist though. Like they could have made it work somehow. If they really wanted to, they could have. Once he killed him, they could have made it work.
so to me, the twist was who the killer was a
Yeah,
twist.
yeah,
The problem was the reason why.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, oh, I thought something else had happened for him to want to kill these folks. Like that was just so, I don't know.
There we go. Are we back now?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's probably with me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're good. It was me for some reason. I don't know what just happened. But yeah, the reveal of the killer, you're right. It was a little lazy, I think.
It was very lazy. It was very
Yeah.
lazy because no, when I it's a thought like now it was a good plot for him to be the killer. Yes,
Yeah.
I like it because
Did
he's
you think
fighting.
did you did you think at any point that he was the killer?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought you said like the professor. Um, and I didn't think the killer was coming from the future.
No, that
That,
was great.
that was right. I didn't think the killer was coming from the future. But then again, so yeah, I didn't think it was him. But I'm still thinking like because you got teased, that didn't make any
I mean,
sense.
it's a good enough reason, but they didn't.
Is
They
it?
needed to tease him more. He needed to be teased more.
Right. But is it a good enough reason? Like, really?
Man, I'm saying I think it works. It works if we see him get teased more. Like they really
Instead of
needed
that,
to
yeah.
push it. They really needed to push it. There was literally just, hey, we're gonna throw him in the river. Oh no, we're not. And it's just like it's not enough. Like that's not.
Not enough.
We need another two scenes.
Well, well, actually, they didn't throw him in the river because she stopped it.
Yeah.
So my thing is, once she stopped him from being thrown in the river, that should have changed the course of the future.
Well, he was already back there, so he had already lived his future.
Oh, so now you're talking about like multiverses.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, there's
You-
definitely
you-
multiverses going on.
yeah, so you get into the different strands of
Yeah.
this way, that way.
Oh,
So
there's
that okay.
there's like by the end of this movie, there's like four different stories going.
Yes, yes. I mean, that's that they could have tied into because
Yeah.
in my mind, I know we kind of skipping across this movie. Like, what's the story? Or you wanted to leave us like where it left us, like because realistically, she shouldn't have been born. Um, she shouldn't have been born. The guy should have never. Once he didn't throw her in
In
the
the river.
river, nobody should never die.
Yeah.
Because he'd have been okay. Um, a lot of things. So
But once like they've already lived like this future where this happens. So I don't know. That's where you get into the confusing thing with time travel, where I feel like you gotta just like open your mind a little bit and just let it roll. But yeah, you have one timeline where he doesn't get thrown in the river, so now maybe he's not mad. You have another timeline where the girl's never born. You have another
yeah,
timeline where the girl is born but stays in the past. So now her parents in the future just lost another kid, by the way, because she's not coming back. So now it's like, okay,
right,
now you just lost two kids. Like,
right.
um, yeah. So like I said, you have a lot of different stories going on, and that's just where you just kind of just got to roll with it, man. Just be like, okay, this is I like me personally, I'm cool with it because I see it. I love it. It makes you think about it because now you're thinking about, oh wow, oh wow, oh wait a minute, I love it.
Yeah, I don't. I don't like one way, but I do want to pull a thread on. They kind of touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
If you tell me what happened, it's gonna something this that, and but the thing is, like you said, it goes this way, it goes that way. There are different timelines that's playing that's gonna take part
Oh
or
yeah.
that's gonna happen. So I'm just that's fascinating. I mean, I like stuff like that. I like the what if because I do it in my own life. Like, what if I would have went there that night? What if I would have did
Exactly.
this that night or not
Exactly.
played
I
around the
like movies
screen?
that make you think.
Yeah,
But yeah, so as for my favorite scene, I think that was my favorite scene actually, was where they revealed who the killer was. I think that was just because it was kind of shocking and I always like a twist and that was a twist and like you said it wasn't 100% like wow, but it was to me it was the best
yeah.
scene of the movie. Did you have a favorite scene? Was that your favorite scene?
That probably was it. I mean, I didn't like I
Yeah.
said, this movie was so underwhelming.
Oh yeah.
To me.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna.
yeah.
So least favorite scene. Do you have a least favorite scene though?
um when they got killed, the mall scene. So she's going
Yeah.
to try to save these folks in the mall, and it just seems so weird. The time is the daggone lights go out. She's in the
Yeah.
dressing room. Um, he's just sitting there playing with. I forgot he's playing with some puzzle or playing with something.
Playing
It
with
doesn't
like
make
some
any.
like yeah, like he had a toy gun at one point. Then he had like some like stuffed animals or something. I don't
Right.
know.
I'm thinking about me in high school. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about me this period. So I have a girl in the dressing room just telling me to come here, and I'm playing with a puzzle or playing with a what is going on here? Like, and he's really engulfed in whatever he's doing. He don't even
Yeah.
hear. He's not paying attention. Next thing you know, somebody behind him, and he's dying. Like, really? No, I'm at the dressing room trying to see at
No. Yeah.
17. You know what I mean? So
Um, that was definitely a bad one. I also think for me one of the my least favorite scenes was just the very beginning when they killed the
yeah,
sister. Like I thought that was kind of a cheap way for them to kill her, I guess. Like it wasn't very I mean, obviously we know she's gonna die, but
right.
like you could have made me somewhat think like, oh wow, like,
Well,
you know,
I was just wondering why nobody else was around.
that too.
You had a party,
Dude, I went to so many high school parties. There's not a single time I was alone at any of them.
right? And I mean, I couldn't even find a way to be alone. Like at
Yeah.
a barn party at that, it's a barn and maybe some hay and stuff, whatever. But where nobody was around, nobody heard her scream, nobody
Yeah.
heard anything.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
Agreed. That's why another reason I didn't like it. Like it was just very it was just very unbelievable, I guess. I don't know. It was just very like I couldn't get into it as that being the first scene of the movie.
Right. But if
Um,
you think about
yeah,
this though, Justin. So even though the guy was coming back from the past, I mean, come back from the future,
yeah.
from he didn't know where she was. Like
I
he
mean, he
knew
must have known. He must have known. He must have been hiding in there somewhere.
what at the be. So that means he planned it from the onset
Yeah,
from 2003.
yeah.
He wasn't at the party in 2003. If you notice that.
No, he was there at the very beginning when he tries to give her that letter.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I
but
might have
still,
missed
yeah,
that.
it was still like, how does he know where she is? No, I agree with you,
Yeah,
100%. Like, but that's my problem with a lot of killer movies is how does the killer know where these people are, and how does the killer always just walk and yet he's in front of them?
in
Like,
front of him, and he had I feel like he had superhuman strength.
yeah,
Like this dude, and he's a little guy.
oh
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So
I mean, yeah, it's. Now I had so many least favorite scenes though. You had that one, I think.
so many.
Really, the whole first hour of this movie, the part where they're at the river and they're gonna throw him in and they don't because the girl steps in. I just didn't like that really. Like, I think there was different ways they could have gone about that. Really, like I said, all the way up until they're on the boat saving the one girl,
Yeah,
Emmy. All the
yeah,
way up until that point, I think this movie just was not going anywhere. It had zero
right.
interest for me. And then when they save her, I was like, okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. Now
Right.
this movie's picking up and it's kind of becoming somewhat good.
I think so from the I guess not the onset, but from let me get what I'm about to say. So just to kill, like just for him to go back to the future, he knows where she's at. They trying to do this superhuman thing. I think like you said, it wasn't well thought of. So the first, like you said, hour was just filler.
Yeah.
They could have just kind of went straight to. I guess it was trying to put some context, but again, it just don't make any sense how she just fit right into everything, and like the river part, like she thought like so that's one of the things too that might have been a good thing. In 2003, we were a little more brash, if you will,
Yeah.
as kids. They were different kids than they are in today in high school. These high school folks today are like feelings. You should love them or you know let them choose their own gender. Let them be elephants. Let them be fur babies. Whatever it is. Do you? Back then, it was more cut and dry, and even further back, it was really cut and dry. Like
Oh
so
yeah.
for her to it should have been something, a clash in culture or a clash in times when they didn't let them throw in the water, because and then she's like, they don't do that. People don't do that. They laugh at it, and we you had to have some hard feelings back. You had to have you had some hard
No, exactly.
a harder person back then. So now you can't do that. That's why she kind of did that, because she's a product of now.
Yep.
But I did think about that when she did it. Like they would have pushed her out the way and just threw her in with them. I
Which
mean, at least
would have been way better. Like that would have been a way better. Like I would have enjoyed that scene actually if they threw her in.
right. And yeah, but that was one of the things I was trying to think. I was trying to think of. I kind of fumbled through that because I was thinking of it as you speaking. Like if they tried to throw him in, she changed the course of that. But they still could have threw her in from that perspective. They wouldn't
And
let him.
definitely,
Yeah,
and definitely in 2003, guys would have had no problem pushing a girl into a river.
no problem doing it. No problem pushing a girl into the river. And she's that strong to push him down. He's a what? I thought he was like a football player or some type of
He was pretty
jock.
big. Yeah,
Yeah, like come on, that's stupid. That
agreed,
was
man. Yeah. So that there's just so much of this movie that just, like I said, the first hour, like you said, it was just basically filler, and they thought that we would be entertained, and they thought that we would care about these characters, but
yeah.
really, honestly, that first hour, I could have just took a nap and woke up and watched the last like 35 minutes of this movie and been like,
Right.
okay,
I got
like,
it. Yeah,
you know,
I got it.
the next category, The Rock. You know, could we put The Rock in this movie?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know where. He could have been a killer.
Dude, honestly, if The Rock is in this movie, it's probably way better. I don't even care what character he plays. It's probably just way more entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, because yeah, this he could have been in there. No,
Yeah.
but no nudity.
No, definitely no nudity because they're supposed to be high school kids. I know in real life, I think they're all like in their mid-20s, but definitely
Right.
no nudity.
Yeah.
Would you like to see a sequel or maybe
Absolutely
a
not.
sequel or TV show? What? No?
Absolutely not.
Man,
No.
I'm telling you right now, this is the part I've been waiting to talk about. I actually would love a sequel.
A sequel?
Yeah, I would love a sequel, actually. I
Mm-mm.
think there's so much they can do. Now, it needs to be a lot better. They need to get like a new writer, new, producer. You know, they need to really, I think they need to make it like an adult movie, like make it suspenseful, make it scary. But dude, there's so much they can do with the story.
Well, they can't do nothing else. So they can't do anything else with the story, because this time travel thing
Yeah.
has been beat to death. You have to come up with some type of something.
I
The
think
time
you
travel
could,
has been beat to death.
I think you could somehow say that he didn't die, maybe, and he comes back again. You know, like maybe she didn't actually kill him. Maybe she just stabbed him and he lived. I mean, we've seen killers live through a lot worse.
Yeah, but so even that, if I'm a killer and I know, like today's time, and I go 20 years in the future, so it's what, 2040 something,
Yeah.
2044, and I know I'm a killer and I know you're gonna kill me. I'm panicking now, like I don't want you to kill me. That's me, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, he had, I mean, he felt okay killing himself. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I don't
I just
know.
think that, like I said, man, I just think there's so many different. I love like it kind of reminded me of like Scream a little bit, you know, where they just kind of kept the story going, even though really you could just had one Scream movie. But you know, maybe you could, because like you said at the beginning of the show, you can't really cheat fate. So maybe just people keep trying to kill this girl because that's what's supposed to happen to her. She's supposed to die,
Ain't that the same thing as the Final Destination? So
which are great movies also.
yeah, but this I don't think they can save this. They have I don't want to change the movie type genre, but they have a time travel series now. That's, to me, it's a little more darker than this.
Yeah.
It's a series.
What
It's
is
on
it?
It's on Apple TV. It's just Dark Matter.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's supposed to be pretty good. Yeah.
In Dark Matter. And this to me, this is the adult version of this.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this is definitely like a kiddie.
yeah.
Like the thing about Netflix movies, they don't even give a rating, so we don't know if this was actually like rated R or anything, but it definitely would have been like PG-13 and like may possibly even just PG
It's
because
probably PG because there wasn't a lot of cussing in it.
no.
So it wasn't a lot of just gore. No gore. Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I,
no gore.
I think anytime you have a scary movie or a thriller or whatever this, like they're calling it a sci-fi slasher film. A
Mhm.
sci-fi slasher film should possibly almost be rated R just because of what
Well,
it is.
the genre, but you still have to. So the only sci-fi part in here is what the time machine
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
and the cell phone in
Yeah,
2003. The
yeah.
Apple, yeah, so oh, one thing, another thing. Apple gave some money to it as well because they only had one phone in there, and it was a
Yeah.
Apple
I
phone,
didn't think
right?
about that part, yeah.
Right. But yeah, that's the only sci-fi piece in there, and just the concept, I guess, that they was going back to the future, but I mean not back to they was going back in time, but
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but so if they do a sequel, I'd be okay with it. I'm not totally opposed to it. At the same time, I'm probably not going to be like, oh my God, I need to see this movie. But like I said, I think there's possibilities. Maybe the kid just becomes a killer anyways. Maybe he's just like, you know what? On second thought,
mm,
that girl kills me. Like, I need to do something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
I need to make this life worthwhile. Yeah,
yeah. Or maybe they do it where, he actually had somebody working with him, which would explain how he moved so quick, like in the mall,
yeah,
moved so quick on the.
yeah,
Maybe he had Ethan, the kid that we never really see. Maybe
right.
maybe he was working with him.
Yeah, I hope they don't make a second one, because they have, like you said, the writing has to be a lot better.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I just don't. Yeah, the writing has to be a lot better.
yeah.
But
And there was
does time, anything that's time travel make you think about you know how time is just look how we look at time, and I think in some type of movie, time is
yeah,
linear, and you know time, different points of a time, I guess, spectrum. Um, I ain't gonna say it's gonna be the same, but it's just that point in time. So
oh yeah.
time is what it is at either 2003, 2004. I mean 2000, 2024. Um,
And also though, now that I think about it, maybe the teacher had something to do with it because we see Quinn hanging out with the teacher. Maybe the teacher like helped him. I don't know. There's just so
I
much
think
more
he
you
helped
could
them
do.
build the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
yeah. But at the same time, you built a time machine, and you want to go back and you're a Nobel. You win a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
You're super rich. You're a bunch of stuff, and you want to go back and kill your high school folks.
I mean,
Yeah,
people got different
that's
priorities, man.
really, really.
But I'm looking at the co-writer, Michael Kennedy. I know zero of his other movies.
Mm, yeah,
And then the other writer, the lady Hannah McPherson, never she has no Wikipedia page, so I don't know how to
mm,
even
yeah.
I'm not gonna try to look her up.
She might be a teenager, so she might be still in high school. This might be one of those things, like they
Yeah,
try to give somebody a chance.
I
Because
can see that. But
yeah.
I mean, overall, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Overall, this was the worst movie that we have done.
It looked like we about to get on this whole, yeah, everything from Netflix is going to be the worst.
Well, yeah, Netflix is not. I don't think Netflix is good at making movies, man. I really don't. I think they go one of two ways. It seems like their movies. A, it's like this where you don't know anybody and it's super cheap and the story just doesn't make has a lot of holes. Or B, they go the different route where they get a bunch of superstars, but then there's like no story and
Right,
it's just
right,
hey, you're gonna enjoy this movie because it has 8 people that you love.
right. You're getting it based on the branding of who you got in there. That's it.
Exactly. So overall, I don't think Netflix would be considered a great studio. They're a great, streaming service, and I love. Now they're really good with TV. They're really good with shows. I will say they're
Series,
really good
yeah,
with shows.
yeah.
But movies, yeah, they're just not good with movies. But they're still a great streaming service. I love, being able to
There's-
go on there and watch so many different things.
yeah. Hopefully we catch one that's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully catch
Yeah.
one that's good. That's all I
Well,
want to do. I want to catch something that's good. It can be low budget if the you
low
got to
budget movies can be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
low budget movies can be good, especially if it's written well. It may not be acted well. If it's written well, I can say
That's the key.
yeah. If it's written
That's the key.
well,
Well, I have already picked our next movie, and it's on the
okay,
Netflix top 10, at least when I looked earlier today.
okay,
Do you want to know what it is? Shall I tell the people? It's not a newer movie, and it's not a Netflix original movie.
okay.
It's I think we're gonna do this is my recommendation. We do The Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's on the
okay.
Netflix top 10 right now. So
So it's two of them. The original, the 84, 83,
yeah,
84 one.
that one, yeah, that one. That's the one that's on there, yeah.
Okay.
Which I assume it's on the top 10 right now because Cobra Kai,
It's coming out. Yeah.
just came out. Yeah.
Yeah, Karate Kid, the old one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 1980s.
Yeah.
It came
So I
out.
say we go with that one. That way we mix it up and go old school, non-Netflix, We don't want to just keep doing the same stuff. We want to keep the people entertained.
I get it. I get it. I like,
And
but
also,
I
and
seen
also
the
I
Karate
don't want to
Kid
do this. Yeah.
when it first came out.
Yeah. I mean, I have not seen it probably in years and years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I seen it when it first came out. You wasn't born yet, so I was born.
no.
Uh, this was a thing back then. Everybody wanted to do karate, but we'll talk
Oh
about
yeah.
it.
I mean, I did watch Cobra Kai over the weekend, so there is that.
I need to catch up. I stopped watching it. So
It's a great show. I'll put the especially the first season was unbelievable.
yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did like the first season. I like they used the old. Well, it's a whole nother.
No, exactly. But all right, James, Time Cut on Netflix. Are you going to recommend it? Are you telling your daughters to go watch it? Are you telling your wife to go watch it?
Absolutely not. Nope.
No.
Won't happen. I mean, they can watch it. They cut something on TV, have it going in the background.
Honestly, though, they might like it if they like Outer Banks because of that girl. I don't know.
Maybe my 13-year-old, she might like it, but
that's the age. I want to know if she watched it because that's the age I think that this movie was going for was 13-year-olds.
Yeah, because it had no, the writing sucked with it. So okay.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely don't recommend it. Definitely worst movie we have done. Congratulations, Time Cut. But hey, you know what though? This has been a fun episode though. Honestly, this has been a fun episode of Film as Literature.
Of beating up Time Cut.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do a bad movie. Sometimes you gotta let it out. Like we can't just do good movie after good movie.
I don't know why not, but I get it. I get it.
Hey, I like doing the randomness. I like just going through the top 10 and picking one.
And that's good, but Time Cut. You didn't cut what? How long you say? An hour and some change of my life watching this thing.
Yeah, 92 minutes. Yeah, I could definitely use that back for sure.
Right. I could have been asleep earlier, but
yeah, I definitely stayed up too late last night watching this movie.
Right.
And okay. I tried to watch it twice, but it didn't happen.
Oh no. Man.
But I wanted to make sure I knew what we were talking about, but then I was like, nah, this movie is actually just that bad.
Just that bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But James,
yes, sir.
This has been fun though, for real.
Yeah. It's always fun talking about. I like bashing things.
Me too.
I don't like bashing, but if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
Well, maybe next week it'll be a good one. The Karate Kid.
Yep, Karate Kid should be fine.
Absolutely. I think we'll have a lot of fun talking about that for an hour. Film as Literature. Check us out on YouTube. Check out the Podcast Hell channel. James, famous last words.
Don't watch it.
I like it.
Yeah, no.
We'll check you later.
All right.